Welcome back to Midwest Access. I'm Viv Williams. The holidays are filled with temptations that could do a number on your health. Dr. J is here to help us be mindful over the holidays. Thanks so much for being here again with us.
Well, thank you for having me. So holiday is a very interesting time of the year.
Yes.
Research has shown that the cardiac accidents actually increase in the last week of the year.
So more cardiac events happen at the end of December?
Right,
Wow.
right. But then
Okay.
at the same time, when we look at the food, we always like to say the food that will either help you or hurt your health.
Right, right.
So in the holidays, a lot of time because of family gathering, the festive atmosphere, we like to indulge a little bit. So here are some simple tips for people to have healthy meals.
Excellent. Good.
So for example, after a big meal, people usually say, oh, because it's the turkey or anything that makes you sleepy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. That after a big meal, all the blood will go to our GI system. There's less blood to our brain. We feel sleepy. But at the same time, research has shown that the big artery is only 1% of our circulation. 99% is micro vessels. Small vessels, very tiny. Even sometimes just one single blood cell, red blood cell will go through. And research has shown that after a big meal, those circulation just slow down, just like a traffic jam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the gas jam, they just slow down. And that's another reason why we feel sleepy.
So we feel sleepy because the less blood is going through the vessels that are normally
Right,
more
because
open.
they're slowed down, they're slower. And another reason is, that's I like to say that something called glycocalyx. So that is just like a Teflon that line up your blood vessels and make it smooth. And those tiny, like hair-like structures lining your blood vessels, they are very important in maintaining, yes, that hair-like structure you see at the top right. And they are very important in maintaining the structure. You look at the drawing underneath on the left-hand side, the normal one, and they are negatively charged. And that means when we have salt, a lot of salt, and sodium will bind to the structure and disrupt it at the right-hand side. And when they are disrupted, the structure of the blood vessel is changed. And this time, a lot of things will leak out of the blood vessels.
Okay.
And that's another reason why after a salty meal, you suddenly have the swelling.
Yes, and it happens fast.
Right, right. So it's not just the fingers and your lower limbs, your legs that started to swell up. And that is the main reason. And it takes the body somewhere around 1 to 3 days, provided that you have a low sodium meal, regular sodium meal, and then they will restore. So it takes 1 to 3 days, and that's why usually your hands, your fingers will go back to normal in about up to 3 days.
I have a question about that. If you exercise, do like cardio stuff where you're sweating, does that make the process go faster or not really?
Yeah, you go faster, but it cannot be reversed right away because it still takes the body time to rebuild those structures, those systems.
Okay.
And that's the reason we should be mindful that we have less saturated fat and the low salt diet. And the best principle we like to say is really whole food. Stick to whole food, and then it's plant-based. And we always talk about the 3 basic principles.
Okay.
Number 1 is called G-bomb. Green, beans, onion, mushrooms, berries, and seeds.
Ah, okay.
So G-bombs that give you all the nutrients you have a day.
So if you are at a holiday meal or a holiday party and you just need to taste something, what are your recommendations? Just taste it and keep it small? Try to control your portion, or what should you do?
Keep it small, especially you want to feel not to offend the host.
Yeah, oh, that's really a good idea because they might get really mad at you. Yeah.
Right, take a little bit, but make sure you have the greens, the G-bomb. And then the second principle is we call the eat a rainbow.
The rainbow.
Yeah, the rainbow.
Okay.
Different colors. As I mentioned before, every color is a different pigment, and every pigment is a different antioxidant.
Okay.
So when you have a rainbow, different colors, you have all the antioxidants. And then the third one is what I mentioned that you eat at least 30 different plant foods a week.
Okay, 30 different plant-based foods a week?
Yes, of course, like Brussels sprouts, like your broccoli, your oats, your wheat. So all that together, everything is different, even the herb and spice. So count at least 30 every week.
Okay.
It's not that difficult.
Yeah, because I've always heard the 5 servings of fruits and veg, but no one even gets that in, and that's probably not enough.
Right, and actually we found that people have more fruits than vegetables. And that's why we really want to encourage people to get more vegetables in besides your fruit to come for the plant-based food.
Thank you, Dr. J, so much for joining us
You're
again.
welcome.
I'm going to follow those tips, and I appreciate the background information. It gives us more the why behind what we're doing, right?
Right.
Yes. Well, in the second half of Midwest Access, May is on standby to share her healthy recipes from her book. And it's Pet of the Week. This week's pet is a kitty named Spider. Where is Spider? We'll get a picture. We'll get to meet Spider anyway. And here's your question of the day one more time. 35% of people say this is the most stressful part of the holidays. We'll be right back.